Well, we're back down the field. Different field today. There's no cattle in this one. I've had a lot of advice on Facebook. I haven't been casting for a while, so I'm trying to get through links, videos, stuff like that. I've actually got a little list of people who've been helping. I keep forgetting people's names and they ain't putting the effort in to help me. Well, one of the people I was speaking to on Facebook is Mike. I forgot the name. It's Castabula, something like that. But his name's Mike. He's from the USA. He's got loads of casting videos online. He sent me some links to Tommy Farmer, which is from the USA. It's quite a long video, but there's a casting fundamentals in there from step 1 to step 5. I've got the steps on the back right here. I'm telling you this in case you're trying to learn. So basically I'm doing the research for you. You can do your own research. I will put that Tommy Farmer's link in the description. You got from step 1 to step 5. Step 1 is where you put your feet. Step 2 is your body. Step 3 is your arms. Step 4 is you start slow and at the end you fast. Probably better off watching the video yourself if you're really serious about casting. And then step 5 is just keep everything at 45 degrees. So when I'm casting, I need to keep, basically the only way to explain it for people who are unsure, the ground is 0, flat in front is 90, you want somewhere in between them. So you want to aim sort of that direction, 45 degrees. When you're coming around with the rod, basically around the arc, you want to keep the rod, like your arm position, up here at 45 degrees. You don't want to be out to the side, you don't want to be up here. So when you're turning, you want your arms in that same position, 45 degrees. I will explain it as I'm casting. What I'm going to try and do is emphasize, forget everything, basically what I'm going to try and do, see what happens, but forget everything I've been doing and concentrate on this left hand. I've had quite a few people saying, basically I've had my cast ripped apart, which is what I wanted because I'm not going to learn otherwise. A lot of people are hesitant to rip your cast apart, they feel guilty. But basically, I'm coming round, my arms are in the wrong position, my body is, my feet are in the wrong position. I'm chopping the cast. So basically, instead of me keeping my arms up here and turning, and when you get to this point, when your left hand is sort of in line, when your left hand is here, in line with, in between your eyes and the target, there, you want to pull with your left really, really hard. I'm not going to be pulling really hard today, just trying to get used to using my left because the way I've been casting, I'm coming from here, I'm turning to this point, and this point here, I'm doing all the casting with this arm. I don't know that, it's what I've been told. So I'm getting to that point there, my arms are a bit flat as well here, I'm doing it from here, I'm looking up there, which I'm looking in the right sort of place, but I'm turning here, and when I get to this point, I'm doing that. So I'm forcing it all with my right. The people who've given me advice said they know I'm doing that, because when I'm casting, I'm leaning forward at the end of the cast, and the rod tips like 10 degrees. So basically, when you're putting too much power in with your right hand, you drop down with it. If you come around and do it with your left, and force it with your left, the rod stays pointing up. You don't want the rod dropping. This sounds like I'm trying to teach you how to cast. I am not teaching you how to cast. I'm just telling you what I've been watching and what I've been researching. So what you need to basically do, I will demonstrate it with the rod. You put your foot sort of pointing around 10, half 10. I want to cast there. This foot goes roughly at 3 o'clock-ish. I'll be standing here. You want to twist your body. So imagine, people say it's like a spring, like a coil. You want to coil your body up and you want to uncoil it. Basically, the way you want to imagine it, it's a spring compressed that way. So you've got the rod where you're comfortable, you're turning back behind you and you're sort of bending down, twisting. When you uncoil your body, it starts from the ground up. This is what this Tommy Farmer said on this video. So you're in this position, arms here, left hand nice and high, like that. I'm turning with my feet first, then my sort of waist area, my hips. So feet, hips, chest. And when you get to this point here, this is where you hit it. So you come around like this, with your arm staying high there, and pull with your left. Also then, you do punch with your right. I'm not going to worry about all of it in one. I'm going to try and get used to it in stages, if that makes sense. But today is more about my left hand, trying to get used to the fact of coming round and pulling on the end of the rod. What he tries to explain in the video, imagine this arm, it's just like a wooden post, for example. I don't think he actually says that. but you pretend that arm is a wooden post. The straighter you can keep this, the better. Not everyone can keep it straight, but when you come around, that arm stays dead straight. This arm, on it, the left arm, pulls. So basically the rod, it's like a pivot point, I'd say. You're pulling here and that arm stays straight, so that rod's bending behind this arm. If this arm's bent, you've got less compression. The other thing he's saying is the arc. Basically, when you're here, don't keep your arms close to your body like this. You've got less arc coming around, so you've got less compression. So basically, arms straight, twist, legs, hips, body there, hit, and you're pointing at your 45 degrees target up there. Yeah, and also the rod's at 45 degrees. So 45 degrees is really important. That's what he's saying. And then obviously, all the other fundamentals. I think a lot of people have trouble with the left hand in casting. Basically, that's where your power comes from. That's what they're saying. You twist your body into it, so you're bringing your body weight round, and you pull with your left, nice and hard as you can, basically. I'm not doing that now. We're going to get the rod. I'm going to do it on video, try and do the turn properly. I'm going to keep everything slow and smooth. I'm not putting any power into it. I'm just going to pull with my left. I'm not even going to do anything with the right. I'm just going to come round and pull. I'm going to see what happens. So that's the plan. Other people who've given me advice is, I think it's djrmonix on YouTube from Ireland. I've watched his videos probably, it's got about 4 or 5 years. I've watched him for a very long time. He's also commented on one of my videos giving me advice. I don't know if you'll see this video, but I do really appreciate your help and advice. I've watched it for a long time, and it feels like a privilege that you're trying to comment on my videos to help me. So yeah, another person is Howells, which he's been helping me from day one, which I can't thank him enough either. A lot of people have got a lot of time for you if you're willing to learn and you're willing to do it properly. Obviously, they don't want to be messing you for no reason, because it takes a lot of time and effort. Anyway, let's grab the rod, let's cast. I've been talking for too long, but I just need to explain what I'm doing, because I'm changing it a bit. Still doing off the ground, but I want to learn the turn and I want to learn how to hit it properly before I start swinging a lead. That's my idea. We'll see how it goes, see how it feels. If it doesn't feel right or it doesn't feel good, I'll think of something else, but let's get on with it. Before we start, just explain the setup. It's the same rod and reel setup. There may be new people watching. It's a Century Eliminator T900. We've got a casting special on there. Obviously the GoPro 8 is my reel cam. 20-pound main line, which is what I use for fishing, and an 80-pound shock leader. Also, another thing I've added in a tube, what I've done is taped it to the rod. This will be stretched up over so I can grip the spool, as you can see there. It's not attached to my reel. I've used a little bit of insulation tape here and put it on the rod. I've got about 6 or 7 spares in the car. If it breaks, I can tape a new one on. I did put it on the reel foot, but notice when I'm pulling it, I'm pulling that quite hard. When I'm pulling it with the reel foot, it's just ripping off. So I've taped it to the rod and it seems fine. So that can go up over the reel. It's going to help me grip the reel, stop the slipping and stop me burning my thumb. Right, let's stop chatting about it all and let's get on with it. What I am going to try and do is different camera angles as well. So, get this rubber up onto here. What I've been trying to do is find a comfortable position for my arms. I've watched a lot of videos and they say, stretch it out like that. When I'm coming around, my arms don't feel right. I do not feel comfortable. You don't have to cast the same way as everyone else. Everyone has their own little ways of doing it, if that makes sense, where they feel comfortable. My hands feel comfortable closer together. When they're out here, my left arm's bent and I can't do it. My arm's too far away. I've found if I bring my hand closer, my left arm's dead straight, look. I don't have a problem with it. But when I put it up there, my arm's bent straight away. I cannot keep it straight. I've not been told to put my hands closer. I just feel more comfortable like that. It feels better there when I come around and I'm going to be hitting it. The drop, I'm going to try and keep it where my hand is. That's what I'm going to try and do. So I need to find a comfortable position. I'm going to put a bit of tape on the rod so I know where I'm doing it. I can keep it the same. My arm is straight there, look. You can see it's dead straight. That feels comfortable. I can turn. It just feels nice, if you know what I mean. It feels right. So if I say my hand's going to be there, bring the drop up a little bit. I'm sorry if this video seems draggy. It may be a bit longer because it's like my first casting session again, I suppose. The drop, I'm going to keep, extend it a touch. I'm going to keep the drop in line with my hand there, look. Just like that. So that's where I'm going to keep it. What I'm going to do now casting that way. I'm not going to put loads of power into this. I want to come around slowly, just to feel it, get my body, get my feet, my body, my arms, everything in the right position. I'm going to turn with it and sort of pull with my left hand. Not really hard. It's probably going to travel 30, 40, 50 yards. It may just bird's nest. I do not know. I'm not putting any power into it. That's not important. I want to get the feeling of the turn. I also want to see how I look on camera when I watch this footage back. So get in the position now to cast, and we'll just see how it looks. I've got the mags on full. The spool float's fairly tight. It's not loose. Use my inner tube to get used to it because it feels uncomfortable, to be honest. I want to keep my hand roughly there. I don't know how to explain it really. It's roughly going to be there. I can keep my left arm straight there. People may say I'm doing that wrong. I don't know. Right, I want to cast up there. Basically, I've got to look up there. If I look at those trees or look lower down, the cast's going to go lower down. I have got to tell my brain, look up, 45 degrees all the time. So when I'm turning with the cast, my head's pointing up there, not down at the horizon where it has been pointing. So I'm going to face my target, which is that way. I've got 1 foot roughly, say 10, 11 o'clock, sort of pointing that direction where I want to cast. That foot is coming back to about 3, 4 o'clock, I'd say. Now what I want to do is chuck this round behind me. I want it 90 degrees to the tip, sort of. There. Arms out. That hand, yeah. Somewhere like that. I could twist more, look. And bend my knees a bit, twist more, and I can turn into it, as you can see. Another issue I've got with this field, it's pretty narrow. So if I go left or I go right, I'm going to be having to mess about a lot. So I've got to try not to do that. So what I'm going to do now, face my target, where I want to be. I'm turning my body back, twisting my shoulders round, my hips round, and my legs, and I'm bending my legs slightly. Now this, I can chuck out behind me, 90 degrees. I'm leaning a little bit. I feel nice and comfortable there, to be fair. So what I'm going to do now is turn and hit it, but not really hard. So I'll try and talk as I do it. Might be a bit awkward, but left hand up in the air, right hand down, trying to keep the rod in a 45 degrees arc. So I'm turning now from the ground up. So my legs will uncoil first and my arms will be last, if that makes sense. So I'll start to do the cast now. We'll just see. So turn with my legs. I'm just doing it really, really slow if it works. Turn with my legs, hips, chest. As I get to there, that's when I want to pull with the left. We'll try and do it. Basically like that. I don't know how it looks on camera. So what I'm going to do now, do it again, try and do it a bit more power, bit more power, bit more power. If you notice that time, this hand didn't do nothing. It just followed it round and I pulled with this. It does feel very odd, to be honest. It feels weird. It just doesn't feel like that's what you should be doing. I'm hoping this hasn't sunk in because I stopped it. It feels like it might have. Yeah, I think it has. But if you look at that, that has gone dead straight down the centre where I was aiming. You can see the line, I think, there. It's gone dead straight down the centre. It went where I wanted it to go, nice and high, I think. So, yeah. I'm going to do it again, and again, and again. Basically, I'm going to start turning faster and pulling harder and harder and harder with my left to the point where I feel like I'm putting everything into it. That did feel like it went okay. No, it didn't feel uncomfortable, didn't feel uncontrollable. So I'll walk down, retrieve my lead, we'll come back up, we'll do another one. Basically, I was going to do the same again. I've got a rough idea of the position of my hand where I want it. I don't want to talk too much about it. I just want to get the cast out to show you my form, if you want to call it that. So we've got the drop in line with my hand, get my inner tube on. I've got the casting cam on now. What I'm going to try and do is put a little bit more power into it. We'll leave the settings the same on the reel. Mag's on full, I'm not adjusting the preset, and we'll cast again. That's ready to go. Got the reel cam on. Hand in that position roughly. Facing the target. Turn back. Coiling my body like a spring, bending my legs a little bit. I feel like I could coil more, but that'll be fine. I'm going to try and hit this one a little bit more, if you know what I mean. Keep putting a bit more power in. So I feel comfortable leaning, bending. So legs, hips, chest, arms last. Oh my God, that absolutely flew. There was honestly no power in there at all. It's well below that line on that reel. I don't know if you've seen it on the reel cam. Mag's on full, preset full. That was literally all with my left hand. I'm not 100%, but I think it's gone absolutely dead straight as well. I don't think I was looking up enough, you know. I can't believe that. I actually can't believe that. There was no effort in it whatsoever. Look at the reel. That's well low, that reel. That was full to the max. I'm well down below. Well, that's probably almost half a spool of line. I actually cannot believe it. There was literally no force in that whatsoever. I don't know if you could see it in the video. I never did it all right either, to be fair. It just seemed to keep going and going and going. I don't think I looked up, if I remember right. I don't think I did. This is the thing, and it's practice, it's learning. The sun is a bit bright behind the camera now, right in my face, so it's a bit awkward, but I'm absolutely ecstatic inside. I've just beat my PB cast, but I didn't flipping press record. I've recorded it on the reel cam, but I didn't press record on this camera. 180 yards. I think it was actually 182. I can't remember where I was exactly standing, so I think I was about here-ish, and I've counted it to about here. 180. It's only 1 yard more. It's 180 yards. Cast went absolutely dead straight, arrow straight, spot on, and it was dead straight. It was perfect, absolutely perfect. I'm going to try and do it again now. I know the camera's recording. I'm going to do another cast. This time, I'm taking some mags off. I do have work tonight, so I can't be down here too long. Right, so I'm going to do 4 clicks. We've got the spool float. I'm going to try and turn now, try and put more force in my left hand, basically hit one. We'll just see what happens, see if it goes wrong or not. Definitely my hand being closer is more comfortable. Lead is in line with my hand, look, right there. My hand being there is better. Before it was there, in front of me there, sort of hold my reel sort of by my belly button, my hand's in line with my chin. That's the only way I can explain it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks off the mag, get the inner tube up. I'm going to sort of go for this one. Say go for it, but sort of. That feels nice there. Get my target, which is now probably going to be just below that white line of cloud, just below that blue sky. There's a white line of cloud. I'm going to aim for that. So I'm going to point to my target, which is there, looking up nice and high. Put my feet where they feel nice. Twist my shoulders, my hips, my legs, bend my legs to this position, but you're better off doing it in one motion rather than stages. Shoulders, waist, legs, bend them a little bit. That's technically 90 degrees to the tip. Left hand up, right arm straight. I'm going to lean because it feels more comfortable. My legs bent. Right, I'm going to coil up a bit more. I want to try and get this out there. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to just see. Like there. Remember, 45 degrees with your hands in that arc. Keep the arc out, keep your arms straight. 45 degrees up in the sky. So I want to be looking as I turn, basically. Turning with my feet first, sort of my legs, hips, chest, arms follow last, and pull. I can tell you now for a fact, I used way too much right hand in there. I didn't pull enough. I did not pull enough. I could feel it. I've hurt my shoulder a little bit on my right arm. See? My head. Because I'm telling myself power, my right arm's just took over. That's how hard it is. I've just told myself use my left. I've actually hurt my shoulder a little bit. It's not gone as far. It's still not a bad cast. You see on the spool. Not nowhere near as far as the last one because I didn't use his hand. I've just told myself use your left. I didn't look up either, I don't think. But it has still gone nice and straight. I think anyway. Tighten up to it now. Yeah, perfectly straight. Don't know if you can see the line in the camera there. It's up there, look, dead straight down where I aimed, which wasn't happening before. Yeah, the last 3 casts have gone dead straight, arrow straight if you want to call it that. Basically where I'm aiming. Right, do a couple more and I'm going to have to pack up for the day, so I've got work tonight, so. But at least the camera's on for this one. I didn't do it as good, but I'm going to try again. Making this my last cast. I'm trying to talk too much, I want to try and focus, so. Done 4 clicks on the mag. Maybe a new PB. Look at that on there. Very possibly a new PB. Gonna pace this one. I'm gonna have to pack up. I'm working tonight, so I could do with trying to get some sleep today. But I wanted to get a video for you again. This will be part 4. But what I'm going to do is go and retrieve this, give it a pace. And I do really need to pack up because I'll be down here all day. Nice short 1-2 hour sessions, just to practice a little bit. Well, there was a bit of slack in that, so I'll show you again, because that was a bit unfair. There we go, look. I still think it's going to be a PB, looking at the spool. It might not be, it's going to be around 180 again. The last cast was 170. That's gone way better. 4 clicks off the mag we had. I did take it off in the mid-air and it did fluff up once it landed. I'm going to go down, retrieve this lead, pack everything away and get home. So thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.